I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. Quote of the day. Let's get right to it. Chainlink on the weekly chart. We'll focus on the bigger levels today in this video. Look at potential upside, downside, everything in between on many different levels, some indicators included. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want more content, follow us on Patreon, our private Telegram there, link below. So let's see what we got going on. Chainlink currently at kind of a big flip level here, right? Why do I say that? Well, the 21-week EMA, you could see it in the yellow. Why is that significant? Well, let's put it on our closing prices, and you can see we have not closed above the 21-week EMA, even though we've attempted multiple times since last March, right there. And that was even brief fleeting flight at that, right? So that was our last really major bullish movement, believe it or not. Now, a lot of coins are in that boat, not just Chainlink, but Chainlink more sideways than most during this kind of attempting to find a bottom. Now, to the upside, if we can somehow manage to flip and close above the 21-week EMA, which is currently right at $7. You can see it right up here as it changes with my cursor, right? The $7 number is it. That's where we need to close above this week, because why would that be significant? Well, we just looked at it, right? It hasn't happened in a long time. Those are the things you want to be paying attention to on any coin that you're involved in. Things that haven't happened recently that are now currently happening can help fuel the fire to higher prices, plain and simple, right? Otherwise, right, what are the odds? The odds are we hold this as resistance because we've done that before, right? We just did it, right? Last week of November, right before that, last week of October, week before, like before that, August, right? And so on and so forth. You catching the drift here? So that's a big level that we need to flip, and sooner than later. Now, since our biggest buy volume is our lowest price week, right? That was our actual low at 528, depending on which exchange you're looking at. That was it, that week. Look at the buy volume, right? That's the biggest buy volume we had since really all-time high levels. Since then, right, this past couple weeks have been the biggest buy volume since that candle. So that's worth noting if we can somehow manage to throw up over here and hold that as support. Now, it's not enough for us just to get prices above that, right? We need to be watching for a close, right? Closing prices are there. We need to see this blue hold that yellow as support. Make the blue hold the yellow, okay? All right, so that's what we need to do, step first and foremost. Until that happens, not a whole lot that you need to be worried about, right? So if we do in a big way, and you're missing Chase Chainlink video, and we haven't made one, and you see prices up here, well, what is our next kind of levels that we need to be watching? Well, look at these 3 wicks right here. We've talked about this numerous times as well. Just shy of $10, right? And speaking of the $10 area, we've talked about this before too. See this line right here, just a tiny moving average. That's called the 200-week moving average, which, depending on when we get up there, right, if we were to just continue going on this trajectory, which is not likely, we're looking at maybe another month until we can get up here, which would likely also be very close for the 200-week getting to around that $10 area. So $10 psychological human level, right? That's a big level. Also, we have not seen that height in price since our just tiny ski slope down here. All right, so that's what we'll be looking for. Now, how about for, you mentioned an indicator chase. Well, how about the Fisher transform, right? What do we have here? Well, let's look, right? We're seeing maybe a transition shift. Now, the Fisher transform is, there's a lot of math in here. It's a little bit different than stochastic, and it's probably my all-time favorite indicator. So this is what we're looking at, right? You want to be watching this in a big way. Divergence on the Fisher transform can be huge. So this downtrend forming since August of 2020, right? So if you connect the peaks up here, right? What we're seeing is potential a shift here. Not yet, because now we're start looking sketchy. So we need to wait for this to see if we're gonna overtake this, right? We need this to keep going up like this. So step 1, right? We've made a higher high, but step 2, which is more important to me, is that the troughs, right? The peaks and troughs is where you want to connect. These are called troughs down the bottom. These major ones here, right? We've made so far, right, a higher low. Right, so this is a potential turnaround for multiple years, right? We're going back to 2020 here. So it'd be nice to kind of flip this around for the next couple of years. I would think if you're a Chainlink bull, this is exactly what you want to be seeing, right? So cleaning that up a little bit, right? We need to be patient and wait. But if we can get the Fisher transform back over this high right here, like 0.25, right? Not going to take much. We got the parallel train tracks running through, right? That's what I like to call them. You want to wait for these to parallel. They can get a lot of like little fake outs. See all that little chip chop, word of the day. We need to wait for their parallel. And so far on the weekly, we have it. But we are coming into resistance, right? On the weekly chart, the 21-week EMA. So, you know, and this time next week, when this updates, we will either, you know, continue our train tracks or we will shift, and this will actually look like something, you know, maybe looks like something like this, which that would be bad because then we're kind of rolling back over this way, right? So we want to watch for this, pay attention to what this shows. If we break this high, then that's a great sign that this multi-year downtrend has now shifted back to the upside. More momentum, more price highs likely. So let's zoom back out, zoom to the chart, right? That's the weekly. How about we just throw on the daily real quick if you're, you know, paying more attention to that. Where the 21 week is the most important, right? The yellow line on the weekly, but for the daily chart, you need to be focusing on the 200-day EMA, which is right here, right? That's where we last rejected off of a kind of a little bit of a rally there, right? So we got up there. We even poked our head above it, but no closing, right? Closing, there you go, right? No closes. We need to see that blue line flip the pink, right? That's what we're looking for. Another thing to give you some good heads up on which way momentum is shifting is Heikin-Ashi candles, right? This is it right here on the daily. Heikin-Ashi candles are different than the traditional Japanese candlesticks like this, right? This is what you're used to. Heikin-Ashi candles actually show you the momentum wherever the wick is, right? So a wick on the upside means the momentum is shifting that way. You can think it as bulls pulling you up, right? Versus bears pulling you down, right? So as long as you're not seeing, you know, a longer wick on the bottom than the top and you're seeing green candles, the momentum is on your side. So Chainlink, more green than red, certainly in the past, you know, several weeks or so. So if you want to start off there on the daily, you can look at the 4-hour, the hourly, works the same. But looking at the weekly Heikin-Ashi candles, still green for the past 3 weeks with what? No bearish signs, right? You don't have any wicks at the bottom, which means bears are nowhere to be found, right? Lots of bulls, right? Bulls pulling bigly. But what do you see here? Long wick, a little bit less of a long wick, a little bit shorter of a longer wick, right? So this is worth paying attention to. We'll see where we close, but we don't want to see something like this. That would indicate hesitation between bulls and bears. See how the wick is on the bottom and the top and a shorter body. So certainly right at resistance levels, support levels, you need to be paying more attention to Heikin-Ashi candles. That'll kind of give you a heads up on, you know, a majority of the market that's not looking at Heikin-Ashi candles or even knows about those, right? Momentum, great for momentum. So that's kind of tip of the day there. So that's Chainlink wrapped up in a nutshell. Hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you've already thumbs up, you son of a bitch. And we'll see you on the next one. Leave me a comment in here and let me know what other altcoins you want to cover. We'll do more of those throughout the week. I know a lot of altcoins are, you know, potentially starting to fire off a little bit here. So whatever want to get the most comments on this video is what we'll do maybe tomorrow. Maybe you'll be that lucky. So you got the quote of the day. Let's do car of the day. And it's appropriate. Why do I say that? Well, blue Corvette, Chainlink blue. Maybe not quite, but who is that driving? Is that Sergey? It kind of looks like it.